So next thing I started thinking about is how it always happens in a bathtub, like, not just, jump off a cliff somewhere into the ocean or in a river or, I don't know, the bathtub. So I did a search for um, death by water, bathtub, Illuminati, and a couple of interesting things came up. That basically showed that bathtubs and water, black water, were used as sort of like, um, I'd say like portals to transition from here to, I would say, hell, or the underworld. And in some rituals they also believe that it is a cleansing of evil, sort of like a baptism. And if the person survives this, going underwater and staying underwater until the evil is purged from them, they resurface as someone new, reborn, cleansed. Maybe, with Whitney Houston struggling to make this comeback on the biggest night, Grammy night, if she was going to go out to perform, which she was performing the song, to mess up again like she did when she first came back and was looking super frail, it couldn't happen again. So maybe Clive instructed her to do this ritual, and when she emerges, she's going to come out as that old classic singing angel that she was before. And if not, then hey, it's not worth it anyways, huh? If you can't sing, why live? That's the type of mentality these moguls have, these satanic moguls, music moguls. And I really think that's what happened here. And they did it, the daughter got herself, maybe just following the pattern of her mother. Just thinking about the moon goddess term, that's the next thing I went to search, and I found references to Princess Diana and different names that meant moon goddess. And one thing that I came across, which is just interesting, just to connect the ritualistic sacrifices, the satanic sacrifices, is that, okay, if Princess Diana was considered a moon goddess, the tunnel that she died in, that she was murdered in, is called Pont d'Alma, which is supposed to mean passage of the moon goddess. If that is in fact true, then there's no doubt, there's been so much talk. David Icke, he actually has a lot of great YouTube videos on the royal family and some very dark connections that go along with them. But not to drift onto that, just this whole water, how, the dark side of water. I think it's called the final bath in like occult rituals. Yeah. And just the last point here, just talking about Whitney. When they released this movie, this terrible TV movie of hers, if you look at that poster, okay, and I noticed this when it first came out, because the moment she died, the conspiracy theories were flying like crazy. And I had watched a video on YouTube that was connecting all these dots and showing all these satanic symbolism in the entertainment industry. And they pointed out that her hands, the actress that was playing Whitney Houston, had her hands folded over her, sort of like her pelvis, kind of like hovering over the womb. And her hands were in a way that made like a triangle, and an inverted triangle, which in alchemy, the inverted triangle represents water. Um, my father, who was a minister, he used to tell me that, like, the upside down crosses, those stuff, that's what the Satanists do to reverse whatever power these symbols are supposed to hold. And just to think that they did, like why? It didn't make any sense why they would do that in the poster. It's not like she had triangles, that her favorite shape was a triangle. Like, she didn't love geometry. Why would this actress make an inverted triangle over her womb on this poster? I don't know. And it also makes me think of The Leftovers. If anyone watches The Leftovers, there's this amazing storyline they have this season. If you haven't watched season 2, then you might want to skip ahead a bit for spoilers. I won't take very long, but just to mention, when Kevin wants to transfer over to the other world, he kills him, like he kills himself, and then wakes up in a bathtub filled with black water, and now he's on the other side, like an alternate reality. And I found that very interesting. And also just the way they believe that death in a bathtub, suicide especially in a bathtub, there's a connection to it. Like, I don't know, it just, when I saw these things, it just pinged and clicked in my head. Blackwater, that's also the name of that the private military group there that Bush hired, that he either hired or they built together with the CIA. And that was back in 1997. And it said that they are like, they're supposed to be sort of like the new Knights of Malta, which are the military order that's controlled by the Vatican. Very corrupted, and behind a lot of assassinations, a lot of wars, drug trafficking. Like, these guys, they have way too much power. They were around, like I said, since 1997, but didn't get exposed to 2004, when 4 of them that were stationed in Iraq were ambushed, killed, burnt, dragged through the streets, and then hung from a bridge as people danced under their bodies, where their bodies were hanging. That's when we knew that they had these mercenaries, that the U.S. government were using mercenaries in Iraq, which they were like, they had like diplomatic immunity, man. These guys could do some terrible things. They could kill. They basically were given like carte blanche, just do whatever the hell you want, just get the job done. And yeah, just the name Blackwater. Why that name? You see, it's all there. It's all there. It's all connected.